Thank you, Minister for the Cabinet Office. David F. Montgomery, please.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, or as the opposition's now referring to you as Mr. Babs. I see the issue with the Civil Service Commission. It is an issue that frustrated me in a past government, so I'm not going to pick issue with that. I am, however, going to pick issue with the changes to the judicial review process. This bill, in essence, sets out that the initial view of the court should be that the government acted lawfully, and I know that's not exactly what's written, but for consideration of interim relief, that is, in essence, what they're trying to achieve. In addition, they're also reducing the time limit for judicial review to 2 weeks, and I'm not sure if the government's aware of this, but the pre-action protocol itself can last longer than 2 weeks. So if they want to reduce the time limit on applications for a judicial review, they should probably also change the pre-action protocol.
Sorry, can I just literally for a moment? Can the spectator at the back there, can you please stop talking? You're here to spectate, not to shout out and give. What do you mean, or what? I'll have you withdrawn. I will have you forcefully withdrawn. Do not sit there as a spectator, purely viewing, giving an opinion on this debate. You are not a member of this house. If I know this is no sergeant at arms, I will ask you to leave the house now, respectfully, before I have to get rid of you.
Can I do the same in the Lords?
No, because the Lords will cry if we did this. Right, thank you. Carry on. Sorry, David, carry on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I was saying, the timelines, actually, apologies, I don't think it... Sorry, let me just double check this quickly. Yes, 2 weeks. So pre-action protocol, as far as I'm aware, gives 2 weeks to respond to the initial letter for claim. So to have judicial reviews then not allowed because they're past the 2 week deadline because the government took 2 weeks to respond to the initial letter seems absurd to me. And likewise, I do appreciate the issue with the Cabinet Secretary on the last judicial review. I'm not saying that that wasn't an unfortunate case and the outcome of it was certainly questionable. But to have the court presume that interim relief is not in the public interest and the balance of convenience weighs against granting interim relief, quotes from the bill, just seems quite absurd to me. I do appreciate that the system does need changed, but I don't think that change is putting the onus on everyone but the government. The government should be able to show that it's not in the public interest, and putting it in a bill to say that by default it's not in the public interest just doesn't seem quite befitting of the system to me.
Minister for the Cabinet Office, please. Thank you. Freak Sublime again, please. Oh, he's got my name right. Here.
So true, so true.
Oh, okay. Withdrawn. Do you have any more points of debate? David F. Montgomery, please.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I do thank the Minister for enlightening me. I'll be honest, I haven't looked too deeply at interim relief and weighing the balance of it. In terms of the timelines, that is something that just isn't going to work. Whilst I do understand the point the Chancellor's making, it never takes 2 weeks. In an ideal world, nothing would ever take 2 weeks. But this government is known to push deadlines as far as they can take them, and that's no disrespect to the minister himself. He's quite timely in his work. But I do fear that, if a judicial review is tabled in the letter before claim is presented, that the government would take advantage of the fact they have these deadlines in place to then run out the clock, per se. I do have a slight question, because I'll be honest, I'm too brain fried to really go searching for it. In terms of appointments to the senior civil service, how will these be conducted? Will there be an additional panel for appointments to the senior civil service, or will it simply be the Cabinet Secretary say so, albeit with the fair and open competition and the merit clauses?
Minister for the Cabinet Office. My bad. That is my fault. Thank you, Minister for the Cabinet Office. Prime Minister, don't do that again while another member is speaking. Thank you. Do we have any more points to debate?
What are we on?
David
Point
F.
of order.
Montgomery.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I do thank the Minister for willing to
Oh,
work with me
sorry,
on this.
sorry. I'm very nitpicky about this. Sorry. Shadow Home Secretary, you have been standing up from your seat multiple times during this sitting. You've spoken from a sedentary position. I am officially giving you your warning. I'm tired of you going over to other members, standing up and talking. Shut up. Sorry, carry on, David.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And I will admit it has got my attention. As I was saying, I do thank the Minister for willing to work with me on this. My concern is, by the time it takes him to liaise with the Cabinet Secretary and write back to me, no doubt the Prime Minister, the Leader of the House, will have tabled this, stopped reading and rammed it through anyway. So I appreciate the sentiment. However, I am doubtful that I'll receive a response before we're actually able to work on the issues. But nonetheless, I see the need for the bill. I do have some slight issues with it, but at this stage, I don't really oppose it. I do believe it can be worked upon with some, albeit minor, amendments. I'm sure the Prime Minister will be glad to hear that, the amendments have been agreed, at least in principle, by his Minister.
Do you have any more points to debate? Shadow Home Secretary. I will ask that this be the last one, as nobody else is really standing up, and I don't want it to get to the point where you feel like you have to stand up just to keep it going.
Give it another 5 years.
What?
Done.
Don't do. I believe that the boxes, the dispatch boxes, will uncensor things. So don't do that again, because we won't be able to see what you said. No, you didn't know. It's not your fault.
Give way.
Give way.
David F. Montgomery, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I might be able to save the Minister some trouble here. I do believe might or not, might have been a bit more recently than a few weeks ago, this House passed the Employment Rights Bill, and I'm sure the member will be glad to hear that does in fact apply to civil servants.
Any more points of debate? No.
Needs to know.
Going with that, I will say the question is that. Oh, where are we on? Yeah, sorry, my bad. The question is that this bill do be read a second time. As men's up, and you say, "I." On the contrary, no.
I.
I believe the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Don't do that. Right. Moving on now to the Communications Bill, third reading, with some Lord's amendments, I assume. Do we need reading time on this bill or not?
Now, if someone could just tell us what the Lords have actually changed, that would be good to know.
Yes, it's on the order paper. The Lord's amendments are on there.
Wait, no, this is from the Lords. They're
Oh, is this for? Oh, my
only-
bad, my bad. I'm sorry. That is my bad. Again, this is just a bill from the Lords. David F. Montgomery, please.
It was a point of order, but thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Just as we're discussing it, I feel it's more appropriate to raise it now. During the consideration of amendments of legislation that's currently being ping-ponged between the houses, I myself, and I'm sure other members, are finding it quite difficult to figure out what in fact the Lords have actually changed. Now, I understand some members may be liaising with members of the other place to determine what the amendments actually were, but for those of us who are just reading the bill as it is on the order paper, it could be quite difficult to ascertain what changes have been made. I have said it doesn't really relate to this bill for the benefit of the Minister, but it's a point in general. So it would be appreciated if you could advise me, Mr. Deputy Speaker, on how best to go about finding the changes the Lords have made.
I do believe, yes, as the thingy, yeah, as he said then, I do believe that the clerks, and they have done it before, they post a paper along with the original bill with the Lord's amendments, and it is titled Lord's Amendments with each clause that they've wanted to change. I hope that answers your question. It is outlined. You might have not been here for the sitting or just not read that order paper. I hope that clears any confusion.
Thank you.
Prime Minister, please.
Hello, good bill. News fixes slop. How can I condense this further? Ofcom, powerful but not too powerful. Press won't be censored but will be regulated. Very big difference. Anything else? Yes, bill, very sexy. Eye it.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Do we have any more points of debate, maybe from the One Nation Party?
I beg to move for the question I would put.
Do we hear a second? The question is that the question now be put as members of that opinion say aye. On the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is that this bill passes the third reading and goes back to the Lords, I assume. As members of that opinion say aye. On the contrary, no.
Wait, what do you mean back to Lords? It goes to Assent.
Goes to Assent. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Very tired. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Now we have an adjournment debate on the armed forces. Armed forces. Do we have any points of debate for the armed forces? Prime Minister, please.
They're armed. They're forces. I'm going. Goodbye.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Prime Minister. Do we have any more points of debate? David F. Montgomery, please.
I mean, I normally do have a somewhat decent level of respect for the contributions the Prime Minister makes in this House, but by God, that was the most pointless thing ever. After the reshuffle, could someone in the government tell me if you actually have an Armed Forces Minister present?
No.
We don't.
I can speak for you. I can speak.
Oh, you can speak for you. Bye-bye.
David F. Montgomery again, please.
I beg to move the House to now adjourn.
Okay then. The question is that the question I be put is men's opinion say aye. On the contrary, no.
I
It's too late. Sorry, freak. The question is that this house now with John's as men's opinion say aye. On the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Order, order. I call this house to order. We are
Very-
now adjourned.
Airbones session
This
again.
isn't just any chat. It's a ClickUp
Right,
chat.
where's the button? What button is it to remove the mace? I can't find it. Where is
To
it?
be fair, I was kind of hoping the ONP
Where
were
is the
going to try
button?
and reject some of those bills and make it interesting.
Where is it?
Well, I don't think there's anything bad with those bills, to be honest.
Where's the
Right.
button?
Calm down.
Isn't it?
I heard that you can lose. I heard that you can lose your media company if you don't post for 3 weeks, which I don't think's a bad thing, to be honest.
Is it like is it like a thing on the table or something?
It's in the state of this community.
The mace on the table. Well, I don't know where the
You're
button is.
You're a bigger rambler than him, mate.
I'm not rambling about me.
It's there.
No, but in comments, rambling about something. Feels
Thank
like
you for that, Megan. So nice.
feels like a
Let's just do it.
law professor on cocaine.
Here, Ginger, I'm meant to be a backbencher.
Well, you know, I don't think civil service is my specialty.